Hey, I hope you and your families are doing well. In this short video, I'm going to teach you one of my favorite swing trading setups that I call the shakeout demand tail. Now, to help teach this setup, I've got 4 charts of NVIDIA loaded up so you can see the shakeout demand tail so you know visually what it is you are looking for. I'm also going to give you some tactics around how I look to trade it, how I look to manage the position, and a couple of bonuses. You'll see these 4 charts of NVIDIA cover a 25-year period. Now, why have I done that? It's to illustrate the timeless nature of this setup, and I'm just looking for the same thing to continue repeating. Market Surge are today's video sponsor. They are my go-to resource for analyzing company fundamentals. If you are interested in a discounted trial, then you'll find a link to that in the description and the comment section below. So let's begin with a high-level overview of the 4 charts that you currently see for NVIDIA showing the shakeout demand tails that cover a near 25-year period. Now, you'll note that the continuation type bases themselves do not all look the same. I haven't just picked 4 cup and handles or 4 flags or 4 pennants or 4 wedges or 4 Davis boxes or 4 volatility contraction patterns. I've tried to mix it up. Now, why have I done that? Because the continuation base that forms, whether that's a flag, a wedge, a pennant, a Davis box, cup and handle, whatever it may be, for me is not the most important thing. It's actually what candlesticks form in relation to key moving averages. So that is what we're going to be looking at. So I've picked ones from recent years and gone way back when to 2006 and 1999 as well. So what is a shakeout demand tail? Well, this feeds on and leads on from Thomas Boswellski's work where he tested 4.7 million Japanese candlestick combinations. So hammer candlesticks, doji dragonflies, and takuri lines, I put that under the umbrella for what I call shakeout demand tails. Now, it's not just that I'm looking for a hammer, a doji dragonfly, or a takuri line. I'm looking for it ideally in a stock that is a leader itself, is in a leading group or theme. The stock is displaying relative strength versus the major indexes. It has strong fundamentals, so ideally triple-digit earnings, high sales coming through, really impressive estimates. Potentially there's a strong story there as well, and recent positive earnings reactions. They're going to be some of the nuances that I'm looking for, and it's also looking for this specific candlestick, which is around 1 or more key daily moving averages. So let's start going through some of the simple guidelines. So what are some of the simple guidelines? Well, I want the stock to be in an uptrend. I want it to be above its 50-day simple period moving average, which is going to be the purple line on my chart. And I also want it to be above the 200-day simple period moving average, which is going to be the red line on my chart. So I want the stock in a longer term and intermediate term uptrend. The shakeout demand tail, so SDT, forms on 1 or more key daily moving averages. Now, most commonly, that is going to be either the 10-day EMA, which is the black line on my chart there, the 21-day EMA, which is going to be the blue line on my chart. That electric blue line is the 21-day EMA, or the 50-day simple period moving average, which this one here comes very close to a clustering of the 10, the 21, and the 50. So it's not uncommon, and it's quite common to see a shakeout demand tail forming around 1 or more key daily moving averages. And again, to illustrate, those key ones are going to be the 10-day EMA, the 21-day EMA, and potentially the 50-day simple period moving average. You can see NVIDIA here back in 2006. You can see numerous shakeout demand tails forming around 10-day, 21-day EMAs. Here, 10-day EMA. Here, 10-day, 21-day EMA. Here, 10-day, 21-day EMA. And the final one here, 10-day, 21-day EMA, and it bounces perfectly off the 21-day EMA. In terms of the initial stop loss and actually targeting the position, what I like to do is target it through the high. You can use buy stop limit orders, you can use an opening range breakout, but if you're using a buy stop limit order, I target it through the high of the shakeout demand tail and then place my stop loss on the low of the day, usually by a cent. I may give it a little bit more room if I want to get the initial stop loss, say, underneath a key daily moving average or a nice round number. That could be, say, $10, $50, $100, $150, whatever it may be. And then in terms of the trade management side of things, generally speaking, I'm trying to ride 10-day, 21-day EMA. So you can see here, NVIDIA builds this nice big base. It's kind of a cup and handle. I'll go for a really kind of specific one and line it up for you in a couple of minutes. But here you can see NVIDIA builds a big cup and handle and then sets the handle here on a clustering of the 10, 21, and 50 period moving average. Then ideally, I'm trying to nail that. I'm trying to nail the 10-day, 21-day EMA trend. I will just add here as well that if price gets short-term extended from the 10-day EMA, so here you can actually see it forms a 10-day EMA shakeout demand tail, okay, right there. If it gets extended from the 10-day EMA, I may choke some off by going low at the day. actually had a position here and then had Nvidia going into this earnings reaction, and then on this day here on part of my position I moved my stop loss to the low of the day. So this is something as well, 10-day, 21-day, but if price gets short-term extended from the 10-day EMA, I may move my stop loss on all or part of the position. It depends, it's a case-by-case basis. Apply a lot of common sense to the low of that day. Why do I do that? Because it's short-term extended, expecting a pullback back in, and rather than just guessing that, okay, this stock is extended. So here you may think, well, this stock is extended, I'm just going to sell my position. Extended stocks can become more extended. So I like to use a principle that I learned from Nicholas Davis, which is let my stop loss decide. If I think it's extended here, I will just go lower the day. I'll just go lower the daily low like that and choke it off like that. Why? Because extended stocks can become more extended. So if we go through a couple of the nuances, and I'll teach you about the ADR percentage as well. So initial stop loss less than the 20-day ADR percentage. So here is the ADR percentage. If you go to TradingView indicators and you search ADR percentage /ATR, you'll find it. The one that I use is by Arma Schluckler. There are numerous ones. You just want the 20-day ADR percentage. So if we imagine that the 20-day ADR percentage for Nvidia, I'll tell you what, we'll put it on this chart here. The 20-day ADR percentage for Nvidia at this time, it would have been a little bit different as this is present day value here, is 4%. So what does that mean? The overall daily percentage range of Nvidia over the last 20 days is 4%. So that is a useful metric to think about how quick the stock is if you keep in your head that the major indexes ebb and flow, but an average around 1.25%. So if you keep 1% in your head, you won't go too far wrong. Certainly for the SPYs, Qs is a little bit quicker than the S&P 500, generally speaking. But if you keep in your head the major indexes are around 1.25%. So what is this indicating? Well, it's indicating the daily range of Nvidia is much quicker than the major indexes. So we want to use that volatility in our favor. Now, the reason is if the Qs could go up, say 10%, it's reasonable to think that Nvidia in this instance here could go up many multiples of 10%. Why? Because the ADR percentage, the 20-day average daily range percentage, is much quicker than the S&P 500. So when you're doing your analysis, I like to look for the quicker stocks. If a stock only has the 20-day ADR percentage of the major index, so say it's 1%, 1.25%, 1.5%, it's probably not going to move much further than the major index if it was able to trend up. So this is where you want to put volatility in your favor and then target the leading stocks in a favorable market environment. So with Nvidia here, if we were to go and set this up, okay, so I'm just going to get this level here. So if we were targeting it through the high, stop underneath the low, and we were just to put some rough figures on it like this and like this here, and let's go put a stop loss. So remember, these will be split adjusted. This would have been 420. This would have been 410. They did a 10-for-1 split, if my memory serves me correctly, Nvidia. So in this instance here, right, if I zoom right into it, okay, so you can see it a little bit more clearly. So this is your 10-day EMA shakeout demand tail forming. If we were to target it through the high, stop underneath the low there, and we got perfect execution, you can give it, if you're using a buy stop limit order, you could set the limit range 0.25, 0.5, maybe you stretch to 1%, depends on the setup, liquidity of the stock. But let's imagine here we get perfect execution. So we get filled at 42.18. Our initial stop loss low of the day by a cent, so 41.35. Let me just check that that is the right level. So there we'd go 1 cent like this. So our stop loss is going to be a tiny bit wider. So let's just go set that up. So for all intents and purposes, we have got a 2% stop loss, okay, 1.99%, assuming perfect execution on the way in and no slippage on the way out, which is obviously going to be rare. However, if you look at this relative to the 20-day ADR percentage, let's imagine for Nvidia here, it was 4%. So the average daily range percentage of Nvidia is 4%. So now we've got an initial stop loss half the 20-day ADR percentage. That is very favorable. Oftentimes the better setups will be around half to 2/3. Sometimes you can get wider shakeout demand tails. Now, the wider the shakeout demand tail is, the increased probability that it's scared out weak hands and it's also triggered stop losses. But as a good metric, half to 2/3 is what I look for relative to the 20-day ADR percentage. So if a stock was really, really slow and it only had an ADR percentage of 1% or 1.25%, now the initial stop loss relative to the 20-day ADR percentage doesn't really make sense as a metric that you're judging initial risk against. So look for the quicker stocks in the market, and ideally initial stop losses, for me, half to 2/3 is more ideal. If I was to just take some readings down here, you can see this wider shakeout demand tail. Okay, this one here that I'm going to point to, I'll just remove the other ones. This one here that I'm pointing to, through the high stop underneath the low, would be around about a 4.5 initial percent stop loss. Okay, so I would favor this setup because it's half the risk, it's 2%, but also it's very favorable versus the 20-day ADR percentage. Whereas this one here, okay, it's a wider shakeout demand tail, so you have an increased probability of staying in the trade because your initial stop loss is wider. Obviously, the wider your stop loss, greater probability of staying in the trade. It could also have shaken out more weak hands, but you're taking on greater risk for that. If you look at one that then sets a couple of sessions later or around about a week or so later, okay, if you were to look at this one here, the initial stop loss is now around about 3%. So that for me would be a better setup. You've also had numerous bounces off the 21-day EMA. So just to kind of summarize the videos, I can go off tangents as I probably have in this video. I'm looking for a stock that it is in a strong uptrend, okay, above the 50-day, above the 200-day. I want a shakeout demand tail that forms on one or more key daily moving averages. The most common are going to be 10-day EMAs, 21-day EMAs, potentially the 50. You may also have a clustering of key moving averages, such as NVIDIA here when it built a cup and handle on the 10-day, 21-day and 50-day. I want to target it through the high of the shakeout demand tail, stop loss underneath the low of the shakeout demand tail, usually by a couple of cents. The initial stop loss less than the 20-day ADR percentage, as we've just been discussing there. And then from a trade management perspective, generally I'm trying to ride 10-day, 21-day EMAs and try and nail the intermediate term trend. A couple of bonuses: the stock is in a leading group and or theme. The stocks from the same group theme are forming shakeout demand tails or potentially gap down reverse bars or trigger bars, if you followed me on YouTube for a little while, on the same day as well. So if you're looking at semiconductors, it's not uncommon for if NVIDIA is setting up with a nice shakeout demand tail, Broadcom may be doing the same, other semiconductors may be doing the same as well, AMD, Qualcomm, whatever it may be. The stock has strong fundamentals, so it's good earnings, good sales, good estimates coming through, the relative strength point, and also if there's been a recent positive earnings reaction, so i.e. you've seen a gap up on the earnings, and then it's pulling in to say the 10-day, 21-day EMA region, and then a nice shakeout demand tail form. So I hope that video there is useful to quickly teach you the type of setup that I look for, that I call a shakeout demand tail, and these are ones that I'm looking to use on leading stocks when they are pulling back to key moving averages and or building continuation type basis. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video.